Hello, sweet friends. Welcome to my podcast, Loss and Healing. This podcast is dedicated to navigating the profound journey of miscarriage grief. I'm your host, Dr. Rachna, and I'm honored to be your guide as we explore the delicate landscape of loss, healing, and hope. Each week, I'm hoping to create a safe space for you where we can have some open conversations about the heartbreak of miscarriages. We'll share some personal stories, invite compassionate guests, and I want to be able to provide some valuable insights to help you feel less alone in your grief. Whether you're seeking support, understanding, or simply desiring a community that resonates with what you have experienced, you're in the right place. So before we dive in, I do want you to get to know me a little bit more and why my passion in life is to raise awareness around miscarriages. By profession, I'm an international psychologist and a licensed marriage and family therapist in the Sunshine State of California. In my line of work, I've seen many clients who have experienced miscarriages and endured this intense loss. My very first client was me. Having experienced miscarriages myself, I can truly say that I have walked the walk through this pain. It may not look exactly the same as yours, but there are going to be many similarities. And believe me when I say this, that healing is possible. You never do forget, because this is part of your narrative, this is part of your life, this is part of your story. But you do learn to live with the grief and move forward with life. We do this one day at a time. My story had many ups and downs along the way, and I had a hard time finding support. It wasn't until years later, after my miscarriages, that I went into therapy. I realized how deep of a chasm this loss had created in my heart and mind. My miscarriages weren't just losses of pregnancy, but along the way, I lost my sense of identity, hope, and dreams towards motherhood. I saw myself different from other women who could bear children. I saw myself as the outsider looking in. And you know what? I couldn't do anything about my body betraying me. So I did the only thing I knew how to do at that time. I suppressed my emotions, buried them deep underground, and didn't take them out till I felt safe enough to do so. I felt like I no longer belonged in my community. I convinced myself that I was not made for motherhood and that God somehow forgot me when assigning how many babies a woman will have. I wanted to hate my body, and honestly, I wanted to curse my life. Why me? What did I do? There are so many feelings that come before and during and after miscarriage. Fear drives so much of those emotions. You're fearful when pregnant that what if I have a miscarriage? Or what if there is no heartbeat when I go to the doctors? Then there's a fear during, as you're being told that you've suffered a miscarriage, right? That moment when you hear the doctor say those words, that there is no heartbeat. For myself, my first miscarriage, I remember laying on the hospital bed, not being able to move. I could just feel tears rolling down as the doctor told me that there was no heartbeat. I was numb and couldn't hear anything after that. The fear that comes after the miscarriages is very much cloaked in grief. It reminds me of C.S. Lewis once said after his wife passed away. He said, "I never knew grief could feel so much like fear. Because now what? Who am I now? I was a mother a minute ago, but I'm no longer one." If you didn't know, miscarriages occur 1 in 4 pregnancies. Though I feel that statistic is much higher than recorded, of course. It can be hard for many to understand the full impact of miscarriages for a number of reasons, such as lack of knowledge, not knowing someone who may have experienced it, and there's still a stigma around the topic in our world where it is not encouraged to have these tabooed conversations, when in reality, this needs to be talked about so it becomes more normal. Miscarriages are more normal than we give them credit for. We want to normalize this so that we can then have open conversations on how to support women who are going through such a trauma. We want to be able to reduce the taboo around it and better understand the psychological impact and the emotional scars it can create. Part of our conversations will also include how to process grief. I want to walk with you in discussing how to address the grief that hits you like a brick in the face after such a loss. We will talk about many different emotions such as anger, confusion, guilt, shame, and so many more that can come up when you have experienced a loss of a dream and hope. And always remember, none of these emotions are wrong. You have the right to feel whatever it is that you're feeling in the moment. Remember, grief is a journey, not a destination. Sounds a bit cliche, I know, but it's true. One of my favorite authors, David Kessler, who's a grief expert, once said, "Grief is a lifelong journey, not something to be gotten over." We will talk about the stages of grief together and how they impact your life. Grief is never a linear experience, but rather I want you to imagine it more like riding the waves as they come. We will take it one wave at a time. We will talk about how to help your heart and mind address these emotions and lean into them rather than run from them. I'm not saying that leaning into our grief and other emotions is easy by any means, but the more we run from something, the more it chases us, right? So why not lean into it and face it so that you can have hope and healing and move forward inch by inch? It is okay to take days 1 minute at a time, 1 hour at a time sometimes. I strongly believe that knowledge is power, so diving into research is going to be another part of our journey together. We'll not only look at the research in the States, but also around the world, and you are going to see so many similarities in different cultures. What this does is it helps us gain a deeper understanding about miscarriages and also makes us feel like we are not alone, that our fellow humans around the globe are also experiencing something similar. And always we will end with how to use your resources that can aid in your healing journey, highlighting both the emotional and physical aspects of loss. Together we will uncover the beauty of sharing our experiences, finding solace in the stories of others, and discovering pathways to hope and healing. So I would encourage you to grab a cup of tea, find a cozy spot, and let's embark on this journey together, because every heartbeat matters, even the ones we never got to hear. So once again, this is your host, Dr. Rachna. If this episode resonated with you, please consider subscribing so that you don't miss any future conversations. New episodes will be released bi-weekly, and we'll be exploring this journey together with compassion and understanding. In the meantime, please take care of yourself, and I look forward to connecting with you once more.